Welcome, welcome, welcome. What is going on? Monday the 24th. Done 3 roof cleans last week and I'm knackered. I can barely lift my arms. I made the mistake of... I mean, it weren't all last week. It was within like 7 days consecutive, I suppose. Well, 5 days, I think. But I made the mistake of booking 3 pretty hefty roof scrapes in the space of like, yeah, 7 days or so. And it's killed me off. And then Jakey took me to the gym, and that's killed me off as well. I went to the gym once, and now I can barely lift my arms. It's just ridiculous. Need to sort my life out. Nathan, welcome. Chris, welcome. Washy, what's going on? Sussex Power Wash, how's it going? Jacques. Lindsay, welcome. JD Rides. I met JD Rides on Friday at the Smart Seal training. Very good to meet you. Yeah, do you want to do some quotes? Hello, sausage. All right, Matt, how's it going? Jed, welcome. Huge announcement. It's a small announcement, but all of you support members. So we've got on YouTube. What the hell is going on with my Spotify? It's going out of control. It's just scrolling through the songs. What the hell? That was weird. There's 3 tiers, so we've got support members, circle members, and then boosted members, the ones that get all the images. For this whole time, support members have not had access to the Discord. But now, support members will have their own chat in the Discord that only they can access. It's only one channel, it's just a chat channel. I thought it'd be nice to get the support members together and have them like a little community space, I suppose. And then all your circle members and your boosted members won't get all their notifications and stuff, but it'll be like a separate thing. Thank you so much. That pomegranate one was really nice. Thank you, love you. Is this gonna work? It's scrolling through all the songs. What is that? What's going on? Is one of my buttons stuck on my keyboard or something? What the hell? Yeah, Spotify is just scrolling through all the songs. I might need to restart Spotify or something. Sorry about this, guys. Little technical issue as soon as we get going. That's nice, isn't it? Good way to start the stream. What a good way to start the stream. Was a pleasure. Hey, that block paving come up nice. Do you think it was? Yeah, not a bad one. The one that we did today. You're talking about. It was a nice little, easy job. And it was easy because I didn't have to do anything. I literally stood back and watched while the boys took care of everything. I thought I'm gonna... Yeah, it's still not working very well. What's going on there? I thought I'm going to step back on this one and I'm going to fix my door handle on the van because the door handle had been... the door handle's been broke for like over a month and I just haven't fixed it. So I thought I'm going to fix that first. And the boys can crack on with the driveway. We had a bit of a weird day today because we drove like half an hour out of town to do a gutter clearing job. And we didn't end up doing it because we muted for a moment. Is there something going on? Do I need to restart? Oh, yeah, it's weird. Something's going on. We drive talking through, basically Zach had quoted this job, which was he said he wants his gutters clearing out, but he said, can you also quote for the roof as well, to clean the roof? This was the job that we pulled up to today. So we went to clear the gutters. I think it was about 180 quid. So it was front, there's a little bit on the sides. Thank you. What flavour is that?
Fruity frog.
Fruity frog, nice. So very mossy indeed. Thank you. Did you shake it well?
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Very mossy indeed. And the chap said, like, it's quite a big roof, to be fair, quite a big house. He said, do you think it's worth getting the roof done? I was like, well, it's up to you. It's with regards to maintenance, you can either get your gutters cleared probably every 12 months, because they'll be full again in the next 12 months if we clear them today. And it depends on how often you want to go outside and sweep your patio and sweep your path and stuff. I said the moss is only going to get worse, and it's only going to fall down onto your pavement and stuff. So it's like Zach's quoted £2,000 for this roof, because it's the garage section as well, up and over. And we got there, and he said, like, he was asking about the benefits of it. And I said, well, we can either scrape it, pressure wash it, and then we'll treat it. I think that's cheap for all that, to be honest, for that roof. It's a very big house. And when I was looking at this garage, it was like, we're going to have to, there's no access through to the back. So we're going to have to go into the neighbour's garden, all the way around the other road, walk through there, unless we climb over the fence, but I don't know. In order to clean up on their side once we've made some mess. I think that's cheap. I think £2,000's too cheap for all that, really. But we got there, and he was like, yeah, do you know what? I think I'm just gonna have the roof done, if that's all right. Like, sorry to mess you around. I was like, no, it's okay. It threw like a bit of a curveball at me, because I was like, oh, I was expecting to come and clear the guts. And I'm still not entirely sure how we're going to work it with access. I suppose it's technically 3-storey, isn't it? Is that classed as 3-storey? I think it is. It's a big old house. Is that 3-storey? Yeah, it is, isn't it? We could do a scaffolding tower, but there'd be quite a lot of movements because of these. Are these called dormers or gable ends? I can't remember. I think the gable ends are on the side. These are dormers, aren't they? And these are quite tricky to sort of get around. I've not decided whether we're going to scrape or pressure wash yet. He said, like, he's fine with either. He'll leave it up to me. So it was a bit of a weird one. We went from that to going and doing that driveway. And so instead of doing the 180 odd quid gutters, he's sent me that as a deposit. So we've not missed out totally, but what bit of a curveball from the customer today. How would you guys go about accessing this? Do you think cherry picker, or do you think scaffolding tower? Because it's not even enough at the bottom to do like a scissor lift or something. Scissor lift might be ideal, but it's just too... It needs to be almost dead flat for a scissor lift. And getting round the back as well, on this Indian sandstone, I wouldn't want to wreck the patio with something big and heavy, because it didn't look in very good condition. Yeah, a bit of an awkward one. Let me see if I can pull the music back up, because it's kind of annoying me. Evening, Jake. Currently trying to connect my iGad pole to my new backpack and having the time of my life. Hope everything is good this last week for everyone. You're enjoying yourself? It's working. Music's working. We're back in action. Sorry about that. Right, let me catch you up. Hello, Sausage. Hello, Daz. Welcome. That block paving came up nice. Thank you. Evening all. Simon, welcome. Barclay. Gleamguard. Watcher of Realms. What's the topic tonight? We've got a few, actually. We've got a few bits to talk about. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Got a quote to do. It mutes when you move your mic, does it? I need to stop doing that then, don't I? Free time to join the stream. Dauntless, welcome. Aaron, how's it going? Do you ever get used to roof cleans? You definitely build a bit of a muscle for it. It feels like muscles that you haven't really used before. Well, it did for me anyway. And the more you do them, the more the easier it gets. And obviously experience with your kit as well. That can't be understated. When you're using it like a pressure washing pole, 25, 30 feet out for the first time, it can be extremely daunting and feel very awkward. But after you've done a few, you'll get used to it. Eden from Steve, welcome. Cherry picker job, potentially. Tower, doable with a tower. Definitely doable with the tower. It'd need to be a tall one, so I'd probably need to pick up more pieces than I have done before. And then it's like, how are you guys moving your towers? Because I'm thinking if I stuck a big tall tower there, because it would need to be taller than the ones that I normally use. Say I'm on the left side. To move it into the middle and then to move it over to the right, is that full disassemble, move over, build it back up? Because I've seen people wheeling a tower forwards and backwards, and even on a dead flat surface, it doesn't look safe at all. So would you be disassembling the whole thing just to move it over a couple of meters? Because to build it up as high as you'd need to get to the gutter line, because you'd want your waist slightly above the gutter line, I would have thought. And even then, I'm looking at it now, even with a tower with your waist above the gutter line, you're still not going to get to the roof of those dormers. The angle would be so weird. I think there'd be too many tower movements. The back would be fine. Yeah, you could probably do the back in one. I don't know. It's a little bit daunting to me, that one is. I'm thinking cherry picker. Firstly on this drive, coming over this way, and then same again at the back over the fence. And then to get this side, I'd be on, see if I can put the cherry picker on the neighbour's drive. Who's become a member? Ant, welcome. Thank you so much. Has become a boosted member. You've got access to all the images now. And the whole Discord. So what I was saying was, the Discord, we've now got this support chat here for all the support members. So you haven't been able to get into the Discord before, but now you can. You've got this very lonely chat at the moment because there's only a couple of you. And I'll put so these are the people that have downgraded and that are now support members, but I'll have to put the links in the support tier thing so you can get in, and then everyone else will get access to all these other channels basically, and then the boosted member tier gets you all the photos and stuff. Thanks, Ant. Tower on the back and cherry picker on the front. Simon, I was thinking exactly the same. Tower, a cherry picker will destroy the patio. Yeah, I wouldn't have the cherry picker on the back. But on the back, I reckon you could go over the fence with the cherry picker. Like if it's on the drive, you could extendo out to the side, because it goes quite lengthy. I think you could get to at least the window, maybe just past the window, The sky, oh, you can't see. You could get just past the skylight, I reckon, with the cherry picker from the drive. And it's those little biscuit tiles, so I'm not sure whether a scrape or a pressure wash would be best on this. Has anyone got any input? I can see a crack on that tile there. Liam's just done one today, and the roof looks absolutely battered. It's the same tiles, but these ones, this is a newer roof. The house is quite new. Everything looks in good condition. The mortar looks okay. I think these plastic, are they like ridge? Are they like mortar protection? Those plastic bits on the ridge tiles. But Liam did one earlier today, and it looks pretty insane. Was it in roof cleaning? Look at the state of these tiles, man. Missing tiles everywhere, cracks everywhere, and then look at the coating on the tiles. It's just non-existent. Look at that. I mean, you can see before he hasn't caused the damage. You can see on the left that they've lost their coating long ago. I'd be so nervous pressure washing that. And it's the same tiles, isn't it? These ones look flatter, to be honest. Oh no, I think they are the same. Look at that. What is going on up there? It looks like someone's done some sort of repair. How strange. It's so wonky. You can just see like it's all like that all across the top. Not much point using both systems. That would be too much cost to the customer. The cost would be the same. I think Zach's... Oh, Watcher of Realms has become a member as well. Support member, welcome. I still need to add the link in the description in the perks section of the support members, so you won't be able to get to the Discord just yet. Let me see if I can do it actually. Let me see if I can... It might not let me change it. Oh, you can change the description without buggering everything else up. The cost to the customer would stay the same. I'm trying to sort of make access easy for myself. I mean, saying that, would you guys adjust the quote? Because the cherry picker could also get up over the back of the garage, but you'd still need to walk around there to clean everything up. So I don't know. If access is if you've quoted a job remotely and then you turn up and realise that access is an issue, do you adjust the quote? I mean, it's quite obvious you probably would, wouldn't you? Customize default perks. Not that one. Levels. Private Discord group chat. Edit. Sorry about this. Discord chat for support members only. Right, next. Seems to be an issue. Custom perk. Done. Right, submit for a review. Right, I don't know how long that'll take, but hopefully that'll figure itself out soon. So at the moment we've only got 13 support members, 109 circle members, and 95 boosted members. That's insane. You lot are absolutely loving the Discord, and it's very, very good to have you as well. There's been lots of new people in the last couple of weeks, so that's very cool. If you're doing the gable ends as well, then I think Cherry Picker would be very difficult to keep moving the tower on that space in front of the whole roof. I agree. Evening, Linnies, welcome. Hello, lads. What's everyone's go-to for repointing? In terms of product, I like the Nexus Titan. It's more expensive than the other stuff you're probably used to, but it's one of those that you mix with epoxy on site, and it's going to last. In theory, it's going to last a hell of a lot longer than your average stuff. So they do two. They do the. I think they do the Fusion, which is the stuff you'd expect to buy in like Screwfix or Build Station or Tool Station or whatever. So this is the cheaper stuff. And then they do the Titan, which is the ultra high strength, up to 10 tons of vehicular use. So that's my go-to now. I'm not using anything else. This is the only product I'm using for repointing. Jake, would you do a quote on Google Earth for me, please? I could try. That's a fun idea. What do people think of that? If you guys send me pictures or an address or something, it's hard to keep the customer's address a secret though on Google Earth. I suppose I could turn off the road names and stuff. What do you guys think of you send me pictures or addresses and I help you quote it, or we quote it together in the chat? That's a cool idea. Using my Parker brand pressure washer this week, got all the right chemicals, etc. Steve in Milton Keynes. Steve, that's awesome. You'll have to send us some pictures on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Make sure you take before and after pictures. Most important thing. Get a proper scaffold tower installed. Missed the first part, so I know you've said, I don't know if you said anything about this already. You mean get scaffolding installed all the way around the building? That is an option. I wonder what the cost would be. That would actually be ideal on that property. Just scaffold front and back. And I wonder what the cost would be. Does anyone know? Can anyone predict the cost just to have the front and back scaffolded? Because that would be absolutely... Because I paid 240 quid for that cherry picker the other day, including VAT, because they had to drive out. I like to use this company in Redditch, and they had to drive out about half an hour to drop it off. So it's like 35 quid plus VAT to pick up and drop off, and then about 140 quid plus VAT for the actual cherry picker. And that was, I'll show you the job. That was this one. Quite a big roof that we scraped last week. So this was the last one we did. This was the last of 3 roofs that we scraped. Absolute monster of a thing that was. It was so fun as well, and it's opened. That's opened up so much more work for me now, because I'm much more confident with regards to access, because this property had no access to the roof down either side. So normally, I mean, you couldn't even get a ladder up on the side. Because there was just trees and the garden gate in the way and stuff. You could only get front and back. So the reason I got the cherry picker was to be able to get onto the, like, towards the sides, and I literally had to, the reach I was having to do to scrape these sides was ridiculous. So this one here was the worst. Oh, I didn't get a very good picture of that. I got a better picture than that in my, let me drop it in the Discord, 2 seconds. Because the reach was just a killer. And I was saying the other day, have we spoke about this one on stream? I don't think we spoke about this, but you know, for anyone that does roof cleaning, or if you do just a generally particularly difficult job, you know when you hit that wall and you think, I can't do anymore. Like my arms are about to drop off. I can't do any more. But there's still like another 75% left to do. You're only like 25% of the way in, and you've still got so much work left. I just thought, I haven't got it in me. Well, I hit that wall 4 times during this job. I remember it very vividly. I was like, I can't do any more. So imagine the reach. This is pretty much as far as the picker went over into the corner. Maybe I got a little bit further, but it was just the angle of the roof and the height of the picker meant that I couldn't really get the boom any further over. And so I was having to reach all the way from here. And on the side, like if it was straight ahead, it wouldn't be so bad. But when it's on the side like that, you've basically got the whole weight of the pole leaning off to the side as you're scraping. And I was switching hands, I was changing my position, I was trying to lean back and do it like this. It's an absolute killer. Horrible. I mean, luckily they had solar panels on the opposite side, so technically we did like 3.5 sides of the roof. There was still a bit to do on that side, but yeah, it was just a nasty job that was. Is the path flat at the front of the house? It looks like it's on an angle. It is on a slight angle. Yeah. How much would a scaffold cost on that property? Does anyone know? It really depends on the surface. We moved whole ones. Just take the legs up slightly. Do the dormers with the roof ladder. Do the dormers with the roof ladder. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Hooking the roof ladder over. It's getting up there in the first place to send the roof ladder over, though, isn't it? Yeah, we could get the roof ladder up there, to be fair. It'd be a bit of a weird angle. So do you think we scrape or we pressure wash this one? Good evening, Squeegee Dave. Welcome. Halfway disassemble of the tower. Okay, just halfway down and then move it when it's a bit lighter and safer. 2 wheels, welcome. You'd need a massive picker. That's what they used to call me in school. No need to disassemble, just lift the stabilizers and move the whole tower. What if the surface is like slightly uneven? That seems like a risk. Daily clips, welcome. Just started out and wondering what works best, Google Ads or flyers. I don't use either at the minute, so I can't tell you. Sorry, mate. Maybe someone else in the chat can help you. Google Ads or flyers. I think they've both got their place, haven't they? I bet Ben's Gutters would tell you flyers. But then someone like H2O Restorations will probably tell you Google Ads. I don't know. I don't know if they use them. Thanks for the advice today on that roof. Helped a lot. Sean, I don't remember. Which one are we talking about? I don't remember. Was it last week? Oh no, the advice today. No, I'm not sure. Was I talking to you in the Discord? Cherry picker on both sides on the drives would be your best bet and most conventional way to get to crack on the front and back roof. To be fair, I hadn't thought, but even if I get the cherry picker over just this one corner, I could go on the neighbour's drive and get the cherry picker over to do the other corner on the back. So yeah. Do you know the actual height? No, but Zach stood next to it, so he said, take a picture, I'm going to stand next to it and then cut me out and put me on top of each other and we'll figure out how high it is. It is a good idea, to be fair. If you cut him out in Photoshop and just stack him on top until you get to the chimney, you could figure out how high it was roughly. But it's pretty high, that's a pretty tall roof. How would you measure the height, Steve? Do you know? Do you do that often? Because I'm wondering that on quite a few of my jobs, how to measure the height. Because the next one we've got coming up that I'm going to quote with you guys, if you don't mind, it would be interesting to know the height of the cladding, but I've just not really got a good way of working it out. So on Google Earth, you can do like perimeter of stuff, but you can't necessarily do the height. Have you got an iPath? No. I've done the training with the hire company though. You mentioned possibly £4.50 per square metre. Does that include biocide? Are you talking to Matt on block paving? Could you give me some advice how much to charge to clean conservatory roofs and the windows around them? We can pull up the... Matt, where did we put... Is Matt here? Where did we put the data from that survey that we did? Exterior price info collection. Responses. Okay, I've got it. 96 responses. So when it comes to conservatories, people... Do you clean the conservatory roof or the whole thing? So a lot of people say they'll clear the whole thing. 6% of people say they'll do the roof only. That question wasn't structured very well. What I'd like to have said was, do you offer to just clean the roof, or do you offer to clean both roof and the whole conservatory? How do you price conservatory cleaning? Minimum of £150, some people said. Minimum of £100, £80 to £90, size and soiling. 120 or 180 if larger. Someone says 250. Dependent on size. 120 for the roof only. Depends if there's other work at the property, starting from 25 quid. Jeez. 125 to 150 for a standard. Some people charge per panel. Like I've heard some people charging about £10 per panel. Minimum of 200 quid, £10 per panel. Size and condition starting at 80 quid. I think I used to start mine at like 75 quid for like a, you know your average sort of lean-to, not necessarily conservatory, but for any sort of lean-to or polycarbonate roof. My minimum price was about 75 quid, I think. 250 plus VAT for average, and we just soft wash it. Yeah, you wouldn't really want to pressure wash the roof, would you? £10 per panel, maybe go 5 for little tiny panels and count very large panels as 2. Yeah, it's not a bad way of doing it. So if you look at your average conservatory, let's take, I mean, what's your average one in the UK here? It's probably something like that, isn't it? Oh, just show me the picture, please. So if we go in per panel, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8. And would you class these as half panels? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So 120 quid for that, just for the roof. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. So the trickiest thing on the conservatories is the rinsing, in my opinion. These are also incredibly intricate and difficult to do a good job. This is obviously a clean conservatory, but if you imagine these are covered in moss, there's moss all underneath these gaps, which are really hard to get to. And to try and get, if you imagine the customer's going to be viewing it mainly from their bedroom window, they're going to see all on the back of these clips and all on the back side of these decorative bits. So you've got to make sure you get all those real good as well. The bits that you probably won't see from the ground. Yeah, I'd say 120 quid for the roof's about right. These bits also get really dirty on the front, which you can't see from the ground if you stood below it. So you've got to step back and try and get them. And in my opinion, if you've got a mossy conservatory roof, you're going to want to clear the gutters out afterwards as well. So you've got to account for that in the price. And generally, if you're cleaning the roof, what I've found recently is if we're scrubbing and scrubbing these conservatory roofs, it's going to drip down. It's going to drip dirty water down onto the glass, and you're going to end up having to rinse the glass off. And at the point where you're having to rinse the glass off on the fronts, you might as well be cleaning the glass as well. So why not just charge for the whole conservatory and just say, I'm sorry, I can't just do the roof for you. We do the whole thing. And I'm sure most customers will be quite happy with that. The front panels don't take long at all. You could probably get the front done in 15 minutes on this if you're properly scrubbing all the white PVC and stuff and giving it a real good rinse afterwards. It's the roof that takes the time, to be honest, and then clearing out the gutters. Hope that gave you some sort of insight on what everyone else is charging. I don't know if that helped or not, to be honest, but hopefully it did. Can you use biocide on engineered slate tiles? If not, does anyone know an alternative? So to my understanding, man-made slate tiles, what tends to happen with natural slate, it's natural slate all the way through. With man-made slate, it's, I don't know, is it some sort of, what are man-made slate tiles made out of? Is it fiberglass? Fiber, cement and composite slate. Concrete, fiber, cement or concrete, there you go. And then they're coated. And so what generally happens, you're probably thinking, you're probably referencing when the roof goes white, when people wash man-made slate or use chemicals on it and it turns the whole thing white. To my understanding, that's not actually what happens. What happens is, over time, the man-made slate will lose its coating and so it goes white, but you don't see that because it's covered in algae. So as far as the customer's concerned, they've still got grey tiles up there. So you know when you've got like a red clay tiled roof and then over time it goes grey? It's the same thing that happens, but when this loses its coating, it goes white. And so regardless of whether you pressure wash the algae off of the surface or whether you use biocide to remove the algae from the surface over the period of a couple of months, you get the same result. You're just exposing that white layer underneath, and then the customer thinks you caused that damage, but it was already there. It was just covered in a layer of algae. That's my understanding. Can anyone chime in on that and tell me if I'm wrong? Dry ridge, no mortar. Oh, is that what that is? Oh, gleam guard. So when they've got I saw a picture of a dry ridge the other day and I wondered what was going on. I thought, how are they going to put mortar on that if they've got that big plastic thing going across? Dry ridge. So there's no mortar on that. Is that how they're making roofs these days? Yeah, that's what I saw. Oh, it's like that, is it? Open image in new tab, thank you. Okay, and the plastic bits are just the bits in between that hold the ridge tiles together. So you've got no issues there with potentially damaging the any mortar, because there is no mortar. So you could quite easily pressure wash that one without worrying then. And it looks like the way it's made up, you got very, very low chance of causing leaks as well. Would that be right? We did one last week. We scraped it. No way I would have pressure washed that. Not worth the risk. Quite clearly not in good condition. Are you talking about Liam's one? Liam's tiles are rosemary tiles. What's the difference between rosemary versus clay tiles? The rosemary name is synonymous with clay plain tiles, adding a distinct character to pitch roofs. So is rosemary clay? Is it the same thing? Rosemary reclaimed clay roofing tiles. I think rosemary is clay, isn't it? I don't know. You think pressure washing will be fine? That's one of yours, Jake. Looks okay for either. That one of yours, Jake, it looks okay for either. Scrape would be easier. You think the scrape would be easier on that one? That's interesting. Okay, I'm back. Missed anything? You always say that, Craig. You dip out for like half an hour, and then what do you want me to go over everything again that we've just spoke about? No joking, just pulling your leg. Boring as usual. Oh, Darren! That's not very kind. I would adjust the price if access is a nightmare. As you know, it makes a hell of a difference if you have good access. Yeah, you are right. I'm new to the pressure washing game. Could you please give me some advice on how to get more customers? It's a bit of a slow burn generally, to be honest, Andrew. The key is to be consistent and start generating those recommendations. Get some reviews on your page. Ask everyone that, if you do a good job for someone and you've done it at a reasonable price, there's no reason why, one, they're not going to come back to you next year, and two, they're not going to tell their daughter or their mom or their neighbour. So you can just say, like, I'd really appreciate a review on my page, and if you could just tell your friends about my business, that'd be great. And the other way you can do it is drop some leaflets up the road. Like we did a job today, and we had loads of people walking past, and it was quite an old street, full of oldies that were walking past, and like people walking their dog through there and stuff. And so we were doing this job. We had our sign written van, we had the logos on the back of our tops, apart from Zach because he's got that orange thing on, and then we gave a couple of people leaflets as they went past as well. And Zach ended up walking down the road with a lady to give her a quote for her patio. And then when we finished, or as we were packing up, I got Jakey to walk around and put some leaflets around the street. And I think that's really powerful. Like I've not really used leaflets that much before, but when you're when you're in a road like this, particularly with a lot of old people that are going to be home, and you're making like a decent amount of noise, people are wondering what's going on, and then they're going to drive, they're going to drive up the road tomorrow, or they're going to walk their dog tomorrow, and look at how much of a good job you've done on the drive. And we've got all our services on the leaflet. So we've got the roof cleaning, we've got the gutters, we've got the pressure washing, the repointing. So regardless if they're not just after the pressure washing services, they might be taken by something else, and they can see we've tidied up after ourselves and we've been conscientious and put signs out to say, mind the hoses and all that sort of stuff. So it's all about impression, and it's all about people want to see. That's the other thing as well. People want to see a new business succeed. You might think the world's against you in the beginning, but actually, if you're honest with people and you just say, look, I've just started out, I haven't really got all my equipment yet, but I'm looking to start offering pressure washing, or I'm looking to start offering gutters in about a month or two. And you can start doing quotes now. You don't, even if you haven't got the equipment, you can let the customer know, look, I'm saving up. I haven't got everything yet, but I'll be ready in end of March. People want to see you do well if you're a nice person. I wouldn't start spending loads of money on marketing, Google ads and Facebook ads and a website and stuff. You don't need all that sort of stuff in the beginning, I don't think. Just start working on your foundational stuff. You can't quote a job like that remotely. It's too big. I'd go and see it. I wouldn't let anyone who I hadn't met near my roof. Needs a client visit, discuss everything. You say that, Steve, but people do things in different ways, don't they? We do quote roofs remotely, and we've done all right on some of them. I understand what you're saying, but you can't. I don't think you can just blanket statement. You can't quote roofs remotely. You know what I mean? We've had good success with some of these roofs that we've quoted remotely, and also there's the other time and travel investment as well. If you're getting quotes from further afield, people don't understand, particularly with roofs, people don't understand how much roof cleaning costs. And so you could spend half a day driving out somewhere and walking around with a customer and then driving back and putting a quote together, only for them to say, oh, I thought it was going to be like 400 quid. 1,200 quid? I thought it was going to be 400 quid. Like, I wasn't expecting that, sorry. You get that a lot from people. So I think quoting roofs remotely, or at least giving a remote estimate, is a good way of doing it, because you weed out the people that either aren't really interested or don't understand how much it costs. He's reading last week's. What are you talking about? Imagine, sorry, I couldn't be asked to come and look at your $3,000 job. Now I'm here to do it. I want to charge you more because of X and Y. Just wouldn't be professional to me. You could indicate a ballpark if they're interested in a visit. I know what you're saying. Yeah, to bump up the cost of the job now. I understand what you're saying. Jake, I quoted the job that I rang you about. It's a £4,400 quote. Just need to have another meeting with them to go over it, but all seems positive. Oh, nice. Which one was that again? The repointing one? That's a cracking price for that, mate. Hopefully you get it. Are you going to be using the Titan? 3-to-1, sand and cement, charged through the nose in labour though, as it's tough going. Weird Jet Washing, welcome by the way. I haven't seen your name in a while. How's life? Being in the Discord took what was an idea into start of a business with quotes and jobs coming in. No-brainer place to be. Oh, there you go. Thanks for that. Have you tried Flowpoint for repointing a patio? No, I thought Flowpoint was more for like cobbles and stuff, and porcelain. Is Flowpoint the grey stuff? Yeah, I haven't tried this stuff before. What am I doing? Yeah, I thought it was for cobbles like this. I'd be interested to try it, but it's very intimidating. Because if it goes off, I was under the impression that if it sets, you're absolutely stuffed. Oh, they're using that on Indian sandstone there. It looks like it leaves a good finish because it all just like levels itself out, doesn't it? Can you use Flowpoint on like a... I'd assume you can't use it on like anything over a certain steepness. Steepness? What's the word for that? Is it steepness? It's not stepth, is it? Yeah, that just looks crazy to me. That looks very intimidating. After you've just cleaned everything. I suppose you'd clean it again afterwards anyway. I'm not down for it, but I'm happy to take notes. Oh, you're talking about the quotes. What CRM do you use? I don't use one. Google Earth ballpark and tell them I want to visit for a fixed quote. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking really. Saw the deck job, well done. Should have quoted the oiling, you reckon? Steve, do you need to sand it to oil it? Or can you just lightly wash it, biocide it, wait for the biocide to do its thing, and then go back and oil it? Or do you have to sand it first? I probably asked you this on the podcast that we did together, but I can't remember what you said. Scaffolding would be way more than any other access option. Oh, okay. I was thinking about £1,000, but not sure. 50 quid and a bacon sandwich. I have approximately 1,200 square meters of roof to quote, which is 4 stories high and needs scaffold all the way around. Ooh. I mean, that's the way to do a job like that, is get the customer to pay for scaffolding. And then you'd be absolutely sweet doing a job like that, wouldn't you? Silly boy using an X-Jet for bio. No, I wasn't a silly boy, actually. I'll have you know. I used an X-Jet for biocide, and it was incredibly controlled, and it worked extremely well. I presume you're talking about this photo. So if you imagine I'm on the cherry picker, so Zach did the back and the side from the flat roof at the back with the water-fed pole and the gardener backpack, and then I did the front and the front sides from the cherry picker, because I was literally like a couple of meters away from the roof, and I could just lean down and just virtually as if I was doing a driveway. It was very, very controlled, and I think it was a very good method of application, actually. I wouldn't be stood on a tower like using a sniper nozzle or something to try and get it all the way to the top of the roof. I think that's a little bit irresponsible. There was no wind as well, but if there was wind, there'd be so much drift, and you'd be getting biocide everywhere other than on the roof, and that'd just be a nightmare. So no, this worked well. Good evening, Liam. Welcome. Liam, have you finished crying about work yet? Adam, welcome. You're right. I don't really biocide floors. Oh, you're talking to... hire a 14-rung triple if necessary at 30 quid. For what? For the... the roof ladder. Timestamp 20 minutes. What are we on now? 52 minutes. I'm not that far behind. There's no way. Am I that far behind? I need to get through them a little bit quicker. Use the digital measure under the soffits. There's a digital measure. There's like a gun, like a measuring gun, where you can do that. Jesse, welcome. Is that the real Jesse Pinkman? I don't know much about the weather in the UK, but I wonder how you keep your businesses running in the winter. We generally do different services, so in the summer, people are from about March to end of September. It's all pressure washing. That's the season. And then in the winter, it's gutter clearing and roof cleaning, really. That's what I've found anyway. Count the bricks is your other option to measure the height. I don't know if I want to sit there and count the bricks, but I'll take your point. Google took down my profile, but I haven't said why. Everyone's having issues with Google at the minute. They're deleting loads of reviews and stuff as well. My roof has them held on with small metal clips. You're right on the man-made slate. Okay, Paul agrees. If you get a laser measure from Screwfix, this will also give you the pitch height of the roof. This will give you the pitch height of the roof. How can you measure the pitch with a laser measure? I do like the idea of that. Because you can, if you've got the perimeter. No, what am I thinking? I don't know what I'm talking about. Rosemary is just the colour, like you can get rosemary cement tiles. Oh, okay. Smelt's about 10 minutes behind on reading the chat, so be patient. I try and read all your messages and I end up getting really far behind, but I think that if you're going to go through the effort of typing in the chat, I might as well read it, you know what I mean? He's still reading last week's messages. Just TFR on the conservatories. I like to use it depends what I'm doing. I like to use either Drive Tech TFR or I like to use Synergy from Pure Seal. When quoting a route, do you get up into the loft and see if you can see any damage? Not generally, it depends on the age. I think with this roof that we just looked at, it's a fairly new property, so I don't think that's necessary really. And the customer's never had any issues with leaking or anything, so I think you do a visual inspection while you're up there as well. And if you spot anything, you just sort of stop. But also, this is where like a waiver comes into play, where you just say, look, I'm not responsible for any water ingress. I'm not responsible for the final colour of the tiles, because some people think their tiles are going to be nice and bright red, and they end up being like yellow and horrible, and they think you've damaged their roof, but you've just cleaned it. Evening, Jake and the cleaning crew. Welcome, TC. You can get up in the loft, but it's quite a lot of effort and time. With an older roof, you probably would want to, yeah. People do things differently. That doesn't mean you're liable either. Even if you get up in the roof and you don't see any daylight and the felt looks great, it still doesn't mean you're liable for any damage. Quoting roofs remotely does work, especially if it's word of mouth or they have seen your work. Yeah, and you got to remember, like, a lot of people see me on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and stuff, so they already know who I am when they get in touch. I've got quite a decent following, I suppose. So I'm not just some random quoting for them. They've already seen. Some people, anyway, have already seen my work. It would be no different to Titan if it's set. Both have the same risks. It's a thin layer of thermic reaction to harden. That's why it's rinsable. Oh, are you talking about the flow point? Oh, okay. So once it's set, once it's had that initial thermic reaction, so with Titan you'd just sort of dry sweep it off, but with the flow point you'd lightly pressure wash it off. On a hot day though, I think I watched a video of it like last year when we were on the live stream, and the guy said he was caught out once when it dried too quickly on a really hot day. I do think it's slightly different for you. Obviously, a lot of people know your name and will have seen the quality of your work. More for the newer lads, quoting in person is always preferable. Yes, I agree with you. If you're brand new, even in the first year or two, if you can, visit as many jobs as possible when you're quoting. As many as possible, because if you can sell yourself as well as explain the service to them and any quirks and like how the chemicals work and all that sort of stuff, the more you can sell your service in person, the more jobs you'll land. That's for sure. Where am I? Realizing that the DIY part of this job is probably the most difficult part. Still trying to connect my backpack to the pole, not finding the right connectors. Oh, yeah, you do pick up a lot of skills when you're fixing your own equipment and stuff. When you consider most people oil their decking without preparing it and it gets decent results, washing and biociding and preparing it will work. Sanding is a full restoration to like new without being new. Okay, yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, so when people clean their fence or something and then oil it, I'm probably doing a more extensive job at cleaning that fence than a normal person would without cleaning equipment. Gradient might be the word you're looking for, maybe. Sanding gives a far better finish. Okay. Steve, did you manage to book that job in that you invited me out on last week or the week before? I would be interested to come and film a job with you and watch you work, and I'll just stand there with a camera and be like, oh, he's doing a good job. Yep, He knows what he's doing. I might bring a cup of tea over or something. Pretty sure there's a measuring tool on your camera phone, iPhone or Android. Not sure the scope of it. Might only work like 7 foot or something. Oh, okay. Flow point is horrific. I was on a job with a landscaper, mixed and applied over the surface. It literally stuck to the surface. I had 2 pressure washers on it. Never seen the lad swear so much. Titan only. Oh, okay. Was it a hot day? It was, because that's the thing. If the patio's already hot and the air temperature is hot, it's going to set a lot quicker, isn't it? With trigonometry. Oh god, here we go. Work out the angle of the pitch with a laser level. A laser level? Yeah, but if you're not up on the roof, how are you going to get a laser level on there? Oh wait. Wait, you put the level on the floor. I don't know. Mate, those tiles were awful today. Oh god. Will you send... I'll send you a link to the laser distance measurer in the Discord. Okay. Let's have a peek. Same sort of thing. For you to measure a big drive. That's Steve. Steve sent one. I need a wee. How's this working then? Oh, so you measure the bottom. So you stay in one position, measure the bottom, then measure the top, and then use a bit of trigonometry to figure out the pitch. Or does it do it for you? I'd need someone to show me how to use it, really, because I still don't understand. But I'll take your word for it. I believe you. This is Liam's roof from today. Ooh. Brutal. I mean, it's done, isn't it? It's been washed. It's definitely better than it was. Did the customer say anything about the condition before you started? Because I bet it might be something you wouldn't necessarily notice until you're up there at eyeline. I don't know. People see if on TikTok and YouTube everyone knows me. People see if on TikTok and YouTube everyone knows me. No idea what you've just put there, mate. Sorry. When using Titan, you can't mess it up. Only hard if it rains, as you consistently brushing it. Flow point can go horrifically wrong. And after the day of applying Titan, it's perfect. After visiting a property and taking measurements, etc., do you then send a written quote to them via email? So most of my residential customers, I'll be communicating via text or like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger and stuff. So I'll just, with the smaller jobs, I'll just send them a quote like that. But bigger customers, mainly commercial or bigger roofs and stuff, I'll send, or schools, or if they want multiple services, I might put in a quoting document. Has anyone cleaned a roof with the house that has K-render? Just worried about the mess. No, I haven't. Oh, you haven't sent it? Okay. Well, at least I'm caught up with the chat. I read that before you sent it. Rex, welcome. Customers on holiday, they said it's old. Okay. I mean, at least you took plenty of pictures. You can see that it was like that before. Any company rivaling Moja yet? 500 quid is steep. Don't know, mate. Not too sure. I haven't looked into any of the others. Jake has openly said he would not pay for a Moja, but he got it free, so why not? That's not the way I phrased it, though, is it? I'm tight. Everyone knows that I'm tight. I don't pay for anything. I need. I'm thinking about a new setup with new hose reels and stuff, but I looked at new hose reels today, and it's like 500 quid plus VAT for one hose reel, and I need 3. And I'm like, I'm never going to do it. If you find that the Moja adds value to your business, not everyone will, but some people will. And I know Matt in the Discord has bought a Moja, and he's incredibly satisfied with it. It's opened up a lot of opportunities and a lot of new methods of quoting for people. So if you're tight like me, you probably won't spend the money. And it depends on what sort of work you're doing as well. If you're doing little patios and stuff, or gutters and conservatories, you might not find any value in it. But if you're doing big driveways and commercial jobs quite often, or you're doing repointing, or you're doing sealing, and you want to know exactly how much product you're going to need, you might find the Moja saves you a bit of money. Not going to sit here and lie to you and say, yeah, I'd spend all my money on it, or whatever. Jake, I know the pain. I just spent $4,500 on a new machine. It's a good one though, isn't it? Anyone use that Sikafix compound? I used to use the Easy Joint, Joint It Pro, Sika, Screwfix No Nonsense, and there was one more. So I've tried pretty much all of them that you can get locally, and I found Titan to be the best so far. Back in a sec. We'll do a quote when I come back from a PP. Now these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit, on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels, we've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have two other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching, back to the video. Oil stains for tarmac. So I've not tried it yet, but Smart Seal have a oil stain remover for tarmac. I've not tried it, no idea how well it works. That's not the best picture, is it? Is it blurry on purpose? Or is it my computer? I don't know. They're both quite blurry. You might want to try that one, mate. Oi, oi, oi. Try 13.5 grand, I feel sick. Oh god. What's your opinion on the Mossmatic or Turbo on a roof? I watched what's the chap's name? Macintosh? Macintosh. How do you spell it? AC Macintosh? AE Macintosh. I watched his video on it the other day. He did does pressure washing damage a roof? So he did like a full rundown. I think he was taking shots at me about walking on roofs and scraping them by hand. He likes taking shots at people, this guy does, doesn't he? Didn't he take a video down because he had a go at Sid or something? I didn't actually see it, but this video was very good. And he talks about the way he explained it was like, it made a lot of sense. A turbo nozzle is it's like a pencil jet that's spinning around, and if you've got a fairly fragile surface anyway, it's not the ideal tool. But then I'm thinking, well, you're using this, if you're using the same on concrete block pavers or a concrete patio, it's the same thing. It's just that you're using it on a roof instead. And as long as the roof is watertight, there's no way, I don't see any way that water's more likely to get inside underneath the tiles than it would be if you're using a surface cleaner. A 0 degree pencil jet, yeah. It's not true, it's for his own benefit. I remember a few years ago when he came for Sid. Wankintosh, why have you called him that? Do you guys not like him? He seems like a nice guy. I've seen his training on, he's got some training videos on Instagram, I think. Or he's got a course, can't remember. But he does all of his with a flat surface cleaner. Even the ones with the wavy tiles, he still does those with a flat surface cleaner. And he says it's the right way of doing it. I can see with like the flat tiles and stuff, this would be the way to do it. 25 degree fan jets, presumably. Interesting that he does his biocide sideways like this. I sort of do mine up and down in rows, and then start from the bottom and go up. So even with these tiles, he's using the surface cleaner. I mean, these aren't incredibly pronounced waves on them, so these aren't too bad. Pronounced? I think I meant prominent. I am considering getting one of these little turbo devil things. I understand his point. It's less intense on the roof, definitely. And probably a little bit more controlled, so you're less likely to cause damage. Unless the arm of the surface cleaner ends up hitting on the tiles, which I know Liam's had that problem. I mean, how do you avoid that? Is it just technique? And steam would probably help as well. I don't think he's using steam here. Didn't that chopper make his own stand at some cleaning expo? Chopper? What does that mean? What's a chopper? I think he sort of... Didn't he... Someone told me he didn't have a stand, and then he ended up making his own stand on the back of Rutland Pump's stand. So he didn't officially have his own. I don't know. I don't know who told me that. That might be totally wrong. I'm not sure. What's a chopper? But then saying only using an flat surface cleaner, even on rolled tiles, the bar smashes on the tile. Me and Weir both covered it. I don't know. He's clearly doing it, so that it could just be a technique thing. I'm not sure. But this video is definitely worth a watch anyway, just for his perspective on it, because he's clearly done a hell of a lot of roofs. So his opinion must mean something. You know what I mean? Why would he be saying not to? Why would he have a vested interest in saying not to use a turbo nozzle? I mean, he did sort of, instead of saying this is what I'd do because I think it's better, he sort of said, And I've seen other people doing it like this with turbo nozzles and climbing on the roof and all that sort of stuff, and I wouldn't do that. It's like he was sort of taking little shots at other people instead of just saying, this is what I think's best. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube made his head big, and he treats others in the industry like he's God and they are peasants. Oh, okay. The guy's head is too big for his shoulders. Everything he does is to sell his course. Jake, never turn into Wankintosh. On the wavy tile, I found the FSC didn't clean very well. I had to go over it again with a turbo. Yeah, I can imagine on certain litching spots, the turbo might be a little bit more intense, and it might do a better job of cleaning. But at that point, you've stripped the top layer off it. The biocide's probably going to take care of the rest. So I probably wouldn't be too concerned with a few litching spots. I actually reached out and asked him if he wanted to come and join me on the live stream as a guest, and he just sort of said he was busy. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to push it. He obviously don't fancy it. I haven't seen him do anyone else's podcast, to be honest. I think he keeps himself to himself. Jake's far too mellow to turn into a sausage jockey. Rutland pumps do a deeper sided surface cleaner for roofs, ideal for deep wavy tiles. Really? Rutland pumps, roof cleaning nozzles and surface cleaners. WaterTech Mini 12. That looks kind of a deepie. So you've got the 12-inch with skirt. We all like a bit of skirt, don't we? That's what I've got, and I think I haven't really tried it properly on a roof since I've not had the wiggly thing. Now that I've got it locked, it might be worth trying that again. Is this what you're talking about? Mini 12-inch flat surface cleaner. That does look deeper than the old Turbo Devil thingy. 380 quid plus VAT. 456 quid all in. Oh, that's more expensive than my walk along. 18-inch flat surface cleaner, that is. It must be all in the bearings. It must be like, the bearings must be really good. Built to work with our uniquely engineered power pole kit, the only water-fed pole conversion kit designed specifically to handle roof cleaning and high temperatures. The swivel from Mossmatic, self-lubricating bearings. There you go. So it is all in the bearings, really, isn't it? Is that the one you're talking about? Soph has that boy on lock. What's your thoughts on Rutland Pump's own version of the X-Jet? It looks really cool. It looks great. Yep. I think you're talking about the Pro Jet. Yeah, I like it. The fact that it's got the quick release on the bottom as well, which I think the new X-Jet M5s have changed them back to a barb fitting, which I don't like. But the Pro Jet looks good. Yeah. Stop being polite on here, Jake. YouTube beef. I'm not bothered about YouTube beef in the slightest. I know you guys like a bit of drama, but I don't care. I don't care. I will say, I walked past him at the expo to go to the toilet last year and sort of like looked over to sort of say hi, to acknowledge him. He probably had no idea that I do YouTube or anything like that, which is fine. Didn't expect him to, but he kind of looked away when I looked over at him. And I was like, that was weird. So I got a bit of a weird vibe from him at that point, but he's definitely going to copyright strike you for using his content on stream. Do you think? That'll be funny. He would be too busy for you. He's the Kanye West of YouTube. Okay. Turns out Jake's a fan. I think he does good videos. I can't really speak on his character, but WaterTech Mini 12. Yeah, I think that's the one we just look at, isn't it? Jakey, you bulk at 456 quid, but one job more than enough pays for that. Never done a roof and don't think I will ever will, but surely getting the best equipment and making life easier on your body too. Yeah, but the amount of roofs we pressure wash that are like flat tiles, I mean, for that one that I showed you earlier in the Discord, that would make sense to get that surface cleaner for a roof like this. That would absolutely make sense. And I would swallow that investment. I think I'd quite enjoy it, actually. And it's a nice steep pitch as well. So it wouldn't be... Does anyone know? Has anyone got experience using these flat surface cleaners on roofs? I'd imagine the steeper the pitch, the easier it is to move across the tiles. The flatter it is, the more you have to sort of move your hips to move the pole around. I mean, ideally, you'd probably want to get to the point where you pull the trigger and it's almost floating, so it's sort of taking its own weight. But I'm not too sure. I've never used one. I don't know. Because that seems like it'd be quite a lot of flow, quite a lot of pressure to me, to get it to the point where it's almost hovering by itself. There's quite a lot of water coming out of that, depending on how far you've got it extended. I don't know. Guys, is it okay to hire an electric Karcher K4 for now? Add a £50 surface cleaner for my first few jobs. I would avoid, Caleb, to be honest, I would totally avoid an electric Karcher. Don't add a £50 surface cleaner. Certainly don't pay to hire an electric Karcher. If you value your time at all, get a petrol pressure washer, even if it's a cheap £200-300 petrol pressure washer. Your first job will pay for it pretty much. Avoid, personally. We used the BE 14-inch when cleaning the wing at Silverstone, but heat made it warp. Really? You're putting heat through it? That's pretty... Oh yeah, because it's plastic shell, isn't it? I can't afford a petrol one right now, so rather than waste the money on the electric, save the money. Yes, 100%. The project from Rutlands is a beauty. Craig. Most people in the industry just don't have time for someone who tries to dig everyone out just to sell his course. A day's work would teach someone better than a course on a roof. I don't know what dig everyone out means. Luke. Oh, for God's sake. I just signed up to his course. He's amazing. Surface cleaner on roofs is easy, just like a turbo. Get it floating right, and it's a 1 inch off the tile. It's dreamy. You actually want it an inch off the tile? Or do you then push it down once it's floating? I don't know what you mean. Do you actually do it an inch off the tile? That doesn't seem very intuitive to me. Pay-per-view for that might be as big as the Expo Gate. For God's sake. Macintosh. What if you want tonight, Jake? Could we do another poll for the Expo? Who's going? Absolutely. Absolutely. Seeing as you asked so nicely. What a nice guy. Going Expo? Question mark. Bee's knees, welcome mate, you're right. Should we do a quote? So I need your help. A golf course has been in touch. And they want all this cladding. I don't know if you're going to see this very well. But they want all this cladding on the front. All the brown cladding cleaning down. I'm thinking literally just X-jet the Synergy on. Leave it for 5 minutes. And then power pole it off. I think that would probably work. I've got no way of really measuring how much cladding there is there. I can go around the perimeter. But I don't know how tall that cladding is. So that's something to think about. And then they also want the driving range, which is pretty sick. They want this quoting. So the cladding on the side as well. And then the bays inside the driving range. Which look like this. And so rather than measure and count each bay, my idea was to measure the perimeter, which I've done, and it's 50 meters long, so it's top and bottom, so 100 meters. Oh, I almost caught myself out with that. I was going to quote it at 50 meters. Top and bottom. How many meters do we think that is? Wide. I'd say that's about 4 meters. 3.5, 4 meters roughly. Who's going Expo? 43% of 30 votes are going. So it's around about 13, 14 people out of 30. There you go. Whatever price it comes out as, double it. Golfers are usually flush. Grime to Prime says, to be fair, I didn't his day course on pressure washing. Do you mean you did? I did his day course on pressure washing for 195 quid for the day. And although he does come across as a salesman, even when you're there, the course did teach me a fair bit with hands on the tools. I think you'll get that with any course, to be honest, the salesman aspect. If you're buying a course from particularly like a supplier, they're going to want to sell you on stuff, aren't they? So you've got to take, I think you've got to take that with a bit of a pinch of salt, really. Only needs slight pressure to pull it onto the tile, and it whizzes over them without having to lift with your whole body. Long reach, side reaches, having it floating makes it 100 times less demanding. Okay, that's good info. Thanks, Chris. Jake, can we quote for your course on how to be Mr. Big Time social media superstar? You need a bit of talent to be able to do that, mate. I don't think you'll be able to. I could show you, but then when you go out on your own, it's going to be a bit difficult for you, I think. All right, everyone. How'd you get more jobs? It's quite a broad question, that is, mate. They want a quote to have their balls washed. Okay, let's measure this. In before my computer crashes because I'm opening Google Earth. Oh. Right then, let's get rid of okay. Here's the golf course. And down here is the driving range. Let's see if we can... 2 seconds. Have we got any historical imagery that's going to be better? Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Look at the difference. 2024. And is that 2023, maybe? Look at the difference. Wonderful. Let's go with that. So, if we take the perimeter, roughly... Actually, I need to go from the middle to give me a good average, don't I? Because else that won't be fair. Because it curves round. So we're looking at around about 50 meters, aren't we, really? 49.6, that's 50 meters to me. And we're going to double that because there's top and bottom floors. So 100 meters, and we're going to multiply that by the width of each bay. And I'm going to go, conservatively, I'd say 3 meters, but it's probably more like 4. I'm going to go with 3 because the top half doesn't even need washing because it's been under shelter. It's mainly just the end, but we're going to wash the whole thing and chemically treat the whole thing. I'm going to go 3 meters. So we've got 300 meters squared of concrete. And it's going to be quite a nice job, really. Other than potential access, the water pressure is really good. So top and bottom is 300 meters squared, roughly. And we'll wash the inside of this as well. I'm assuming these are bays as well at the top. And I'm going to times that by about £3.50 per square metre, I think. Wait, where did I get 300 from? That was wrong. That was wrong. So it's 100. Oh yeah, times 3 meters. Yeah, okay, 300 times £3.50 because we're gonna lightly wash it and then we're gonna chemically treat it as well. So just over £1,000. So for that, I'd probably, to win the job, I'd probably go in at 995. Really, just to keep it under that £1,000 threshold. And then the cladding on the sides, the trees need cutting on the other side, but the cladding on the sides, I'm thinking the same, around about £3.50 per square metre. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a case of, see that bit in the middle there, that could get a little bit technical, but I'm sure I can reach everything with a power pole. I mean, it might be that... Does anyone have any objections to standing on the top of the van to reach something? Like, say, for example, I'm sure it would, but if my power pole didn't reach right to the top of there, is standing on the top of the van just to reach that peak for like 5 minutes? Is that like... You've only quoted linear meters, aren't you, doing the whole bay? So what I've done is I've done 50 meters times 2 because it's top and bottom floors times by the width. So it's 100 meters times by the width of about 3 meters. 300 meters squared. Insurance. But how is it different to standing on a tower? You know what I mean? Howden doesn't have to know. How is it different? If I'm climbing up onto my roof every day to get my ladders down, I wouldn't consider it unsafe being up on that roof. I suppose it's, you haven't got the braces around the outside, have you? Yeah, okay, I'll take your point. Fair enough. I've never done it. I'm just like wondering what you guys' stance would be. Surely each bay is 3 by 3. How do you know that though? You know what I mean? If each bay is 3 by 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bays. Or 15 dividers anyway. On the bottom. Zach did say to count the bays. He might have been right. I'm happy with my technique. I'd say just do it. If you fall off, what's going to happen realistically? I mean, you only have to fall once. This is what everyone says. When you're scraping a roof by hand, you're climbing on top. You only have to fall once. It's like, yeah. You only have to trip out your front door and land on your head once. I am cleaning the bays, washy. I'm cleaning the bays and the cladding. Just send them a quote for 994. Okay. The ones at the top look like coaching bays and won't be exposed to the elements. You reckon? These are the ones at the top. There are definitely bits of algae up there that need cleaning. They want the whole lot cleaning, so I'm just going to clean the whole lot. And these dividers are going to be removed as well. They're going to pull those out. So, cladding is virtually the same. It's going to be perimeter. $70 meters of cladding. Have they got 3D imagery on this? Probably not. What did I say? 70 meters. No 3D. That's a shame. So 70 meters. I mean, you can't really measure the height on that, can you? It's probably about, again, like 4 meters. Are we guesstimating here? Can someone guesstimate that for me? Yeah, they didn't have the 3D thing. 3D is bottom right. It's not 2D, 3D, but you actually also need to turn on 3D imagery here, which doesn't change anything where it normally does. Oh, show 3D coverage. You can see where 3D imagery is being used. Oh look, that's pretty cool. So if I go down here, there's 3D data for these buildings. Oh look, that's cool. It actually tells you whereabouts it's being used. This is so impressive to me, this 3D imagery. It's very cool. Imagine this tech in 5 or 10 years' time. It's going to be insane. So you get like a heat map of where 3D imagery is. I think my computer's about to explode. Is this London? Pretty impressive. Travis Perkins. Is that the one we went to? No. God, imagine having a Travis Perkins out the back of your house. 7 AM just hoiking pallets around in their forklift trucks, beeping every time they go around a corner. I'd hate to live in London, to be honest. Count the number of boards, then times it by 150 mil. Is that how you can do it? Okay, let's do that. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the fascia and the gutter, 17, 18 maybe. 18 times 150 mil. Wait, 18 times 150 mil. 2.7 meters? That doesn't seem enough. How do you know they're 6-inch boards? We've gone from quoting to cladding in Reddit's Travis Perkins to 3D in London. Yeah, I know, sorry. How did you get that? I've just joined. The 3D image, it's just Google Earth, mate. If you go on Google Earth, and then it doesn't show it for all areas of the UK, but if you click this little button that says 3D coverage, it will show you these yellow areas, and that's where you've got 3D imagery. And then if you go down there and make sure that 3D buildings are on, then you'll get that. But it's not everywhere. So if you go outside that area, like here, for example, these won't have 3D buildings on. Doesn't look as good, does it? Can someone help me quote this? What am I doing here? Welcome to the stream. How do you find the emails of property managers? Right move? I don't know. Yeah. I think my time on the podcast might be over for the time being. Why is that, Liam? Have you had enough? Use the height of the door for reference. So how tall would that door be? 2.2 meters or something? Yeah, I'd say 2.7 is about right then. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go in at 3 because we've also got these peaks here and the peaks on the side. I might even go at 350, 3.5. So I said 70 meters perimeter times 3.5 is 245 times 3.5 pounds per square meter. 857 to clean the cladding. Do we think that's right? Now, so do we think that's right? My computer's being rubbish at the minute. Right, let's just put golf. Let's put driving range. The quote date is the 24th of the 2nd, 25. We're going to do concrete, concrete upper and lower driving range bays. Wash and treat. Bit lengthy, but then front and side cladding. How else could you describe that cladding, just so there's no confusion? Brown, front and side brown cladding? How would you describe that? There's also what looks like some water damage on these as well, some white staining, which I'm not sure Synergy will remove. And also, does anyone think I should be wary of Synergy on this wood? I'd go in at £2,000 for the lot. Has the live died? I don't think so, mate. We're back. Your live crashed for a second. Really? That's weird. I hope we're all good now. Average 2-story building is around 5 to 6 meters to the soffit, so 2.7 is around right. Okay, we'll go with 3, just to account for the bits on the side. It's a mission that I'm always prepping last minute. I need to co-host or someone to bounce off of if we have cancelled guests, etc. Yeah, it's not easy just sort of sitting there on your own, and hopefully people come into the chat and ask you questions and stuff. It can get a little bit... I mean, it's also like making notes of stuff that you want to talk about. I do that throughout the week. Is the CLX22 a decent poll for a new starter? Yes, we actually gave away one on the channel. It was my first water-fed pole, and I would recommend it for a starter, yes. Exterior cladding, exterior wall cladding. Are one of the slats broken? Looks like it's hanging off. No, that's a gutter. That's a piece of gutter that comes across the front. It's like a downpipe, but like a side pipe, I suppose. I don't know. Watching this is like watching Sky TV in a thunderstorm. What does that mean? What are you talking about? So I said 70 meters by 3, 210. No, I said by 3.5, didn't I? 70 by 3.5, 245 times 3.5 again. So 855 roughly, or let's go 860. $860 front and side exterior cladding. 860. So that's 1855 for that job. Are we happy? Can I send that? Do we think that's about right? We're not just pulling a figure out of thin air. We've got a pricing structure, and we're going to be chemically treating it as well. I think that's about right. Note, one must be 30 minutes behind the chat at all times. Watching this, what do you mean? I don't understand that comment about Sky TV in a thunderstorm. I don't understand. Jake, do you have a code for Howden, or are you just advertising them? Need to sort out public liability this week. I don't have a code. I did ask if there's any way they can sort of add value for the viewers, and it's very difficult to give like a generic discount code for insurance because I think they're a broker and they use multiple different insurance companies to get you the best quote, and it's like tailored for exterior cleaners. So they can't really give a discount code. I don't know what else they can do really, but I'm insured through Howden and I'm very happy with the service, and so I get nothing, by the way, from advertising them on the stream. It's a bit glitchy tonight. The sound keeps going off and on since you messed with Spotify. Really? I think your PC was struggling earlier with Google Earth. Ah. Let me turn that off. That's annoying. I'm glad you've told me though. Thank you. How's that now? Is that any better? That's really annoying. Sorry. How long is that just been going glitchy as hell? Damn it. Not gonna lie, Jake, that beer looks like weak sauce. This isn't beer. This is energy drink. Was it since since putting on the 3D images on Google Earth? I'm glad it wasn't from the very beginning. Okay. Right, I'm going to send that quote then in a bit. Has anyone got any questions before I shoot off? That was it. We did, doing those 3 roof cleans last week was insane. I don't often do. This was the other one that we did. I'm sorry for all of you guys that follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You've already seen these, but this was a scrape by hand. This was a lovely, easy job actually, with me, Rich, and Zach, because Jakey was off last week because he bust his ankle. That one turned out really well. Really happy with that one. Super quick. We got that done in. We had about 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours on the top, and then we came back the next day because we finished off one roof, and then halfway through the day we jumped onto this roof. So we got it done and biocided and gutters cleared out in less than a day, which I was really happy with because it's not a small roof. I think that's quite a big one, to be honest. That was the side bit. So yeah, quite a big one. And then the one we did before that wasn't terribly huge. Like, it was a big roof. Yeah, so we did that roof. We did repointing. We resanded all that. We cleared the gutters on this one, and then cleaned another 2 roofs in virtually in a week, I think. So this was the crazy one. I sort of wish I'd have filmed this one. Actually, saying that, I did film it. I filmed it and I didn't want to put the video out because I knew you guys, well, maybe not you guys, but I'd get loads of comments about walking on roofs and stuff, so I just thought there's no point. But my gosh, did we get the result for the customer. What a job. So yeah, within the space of about 7 days, we did 3 pretty hefty roof scrapes, and I'm very proud of the way they all turned out. Can't believe the level that you go with these roof scrapes. Way too much attention to detail. Biocide will do it all between the tiles, etc. Yeah, I don't know, but I also think the amount of money we're charging, I want it to look really good on the day. That I can't leave moss on the roof. If I can get it, I want to scrape it off. I just don't. I'd rather get the best result for the customer on the day, and then it gets even better because you've biocided it. How much do you pay per month? For Howden, for my insurance, I can't remember. I think it's about 300 quid a year. Just over 300 quid a year, but that's including employer's liability insurance, because I've got Jakey with me as well, so you'd probably pay a little bit less. Sky always cuts off in bad weather. Oh, okay, I understand. You're a tight arse, so you won't pay for Sky, so you won't know. That's very true. Okay. Don't go. Holly, welcome. 995 is very cheap for all those bays. If you measure the perimeter of the building and times it by 2, what does that measure at? I reckon it's at least 500 square meters, both floors. So I'd say you're 30% too low. Yeah, but the bays aren't nowhere near the full width of the building. That's the thing. Are they? It doesn't matter. I know what you're saying. I'll have another look at it. That's come out a treat. It did. I think you've gone in short on the width of the bays. They're going to be close to 4 meters, if not slightly more. Okay, so 400. You think 400 times... Because if it's 100 meters in length times 4 meters by the width, it's 400 times £3.50 per square meter is my normal price. You reckon it's more like 1,400 quid? Bringing it to 2,260. You might be right. I'm gonna have another little look at it, because I'll see what Steve's saying about the width. I asked earlier about the slate and biocide. Do you think it's safe to go ahead and just explain to the customer it may appear lighter once complete? No, I mean, in my opinion, the coating has either gone or it hasn't. On a newer slate roof, you probably wash it and it'll be absolutely fine. I think it would be worth doing a test patch if you can. If there's a section that you can get to without investing in hiring all the equipment or setting up a whole tower and stuff, if there's like a lower section that you can get to and it's kind of inconspicuous, or you can pull one of the slates off, or they've got a spare, or I don't know. If you can do a test patch and put some biocide on it just to reassure yourself and reassure the customer, you should be good to go. But it is always a risk, isn't it? You could even just start the roof and start on a small section and think it's not worth it. Like if you start pressure washing it and it's turning white, obviously don't carry on and do the whole roof. Some people think, well, I'm in it now, like I'm doing it, and they carry on and do the whole thing, and it's like, you've ruined my roof. Guys, do I contact big names, real estate agents like Foxtons, Dexters, or independent agents? It depends what sort of work you're targeting, to be honest, mate. It's hard to say. There's no harm in sending an email out if you can get hold of their email address and just send like a nice generic email to say, hi, I'm a local pressure washing business. I cover this work. I cover these areas. We're an approved contractor for a local estate agent, and they do feed us a bit of work, but it's not a lot. It's maybe 4 or 5 jobs a year. But it's worth being on their books, I suppose. You do have to go through some form filling out. When you do roofs, do you prefer the turbo or flat surface cleaner, or is one easier than the other? I don't have a flat surface cleaner for roofs. That's what we were talking about earlier. I'm looking at getting one. Man-made tiles. If the surface is broken or damaged, there will be white spots. There you go. Anyone got any codes for Pure Seal? No, they do an approved applicator code once you've done their course. I think it's 10%. Luke, it's gone from 5% to 10% now, mate. Think about Jake's friends and family. That's how Jake gets started. Think about friends and family. That's how Jake got started. That would generate you enough money to buy a pressure washer and then maybe do neighbours. Yep. Sat on the roof, I'm telling Mr. Macintosh. Let's get rid of that. I know there's 2 floors, that's 100 metres, and it's 4 or 5 metres deep, that's 500 square metres. At £3.50 isn't a grand, is it? Yeah, I mean, I was going off about 3 metres wide. Schrodinger's cat. What are we talking about, Schrodinger's cat? Isn't that the quantum thing where it's you don't know if the cat's dead or alive until you open the box? It's quantum, is it superposition or something, where something can be in 2 states at the same time? Why have you said that, Cody? What? Oh, slate. Oh, yeah, you might be talking about slate. That's a very good way of thinking about it, actually. You don't know until you start the job. Yeah. For a job that big, would it not be worth popping back and measuring the bay? Difference between getting it right and wrong. I mean, that extra meter isn't going to take us long at all because it's not even dirty. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about an extra meter that is already clean. A standard golf swing is nearly 3 meters. What? How long's your golf stick? You mean, you mean from there to there? 3 meters wide. So it's got to be more than that, is what you're saying. How did you make your quote on Excel? Literally just pop my logo on. I don't know what to say, mate, to be honest. It's very, very simple. You just sort of make a couple of boxes, make the background orange, put like a border on it, make the text white. It's very simple, to be honest, mate. You just make boxes, and then the bit on the end, you can like get a bunch of cells like this and tell it to, you can do that and then press equals. Wait, why isn't it doing it? Oh, there you go. And then press enter, and then that'll give you the sum of all these cells. So if I start putting text in here, I think I've done that wrong. Trying to explain it. That equals the sum of them. Okay, ignore me because I'm messing it up. I do know how to do it, I promise. What have I done there? It's like auto sum or something. Formulas. I don't know. There's a button you can press. Just looked at the driving range, Matt. It's around 1.6 meters. How'd you know that? You found it on Google Earth? Oh, I'm desperate for another way. I'm gonna have to go in a minute, guys. Let's get rid of that. Cracked me up. Do you ever charge a day rate for larger jobs, or will you always charge per square meter? You and Jakey will do that in a day. We'll do that in half a day, I'd say. I'd probably have. I mean, the bays would easily in half a day, as long as we've got decent access and stuff. We'd absolutely smash that. It's not a difficult job. The cladding, probably 2 hours max, really, with 2 of us on it. One of us using the X-Jet to apply the synergy, the other one going over with the power pole to do like a close rinse. Jake, I know how tight you are. If you want to borrow a flat surface cleaner for a roof job, you're more than welcome. Oh, thanks, Neil. That's correct. It was in reference to the slate. Okay. With regards to day rates, I don't like them. I think people are doing themselves out of a lot of money by charging a day rate, because a day rate will also, it depends how you apply the day rate. If you can tell the customer it's going to take 3 days, this is my day rate, then you've priced the job. But if you tell the customer it could take 3 days or it could take 5 days, here's my day rate, I don't think it's good for the customer, because it's a huge difference. And then also, it doesn't encourage you to want to work fast, and we work fast. You could potentially drag the job out, and if it turns out to be an easier job than you thought, you're doing it in less time, and you thought it was going to take 3 days, but it takes 2 days. So you could be losing out on 400 or 500 quid because you did it quicker and you were more efficient or something. It's just, I hate pricing. I think it's a very weird way to price something, personally. It's not intuitive at all. I don't think it's good for the contractor, and I don't think it's good for the customer. Sum equals start sell and end sell. Okay, thanks, Cody. Jake with his 1 wood. Neil, you'll have to deliver it to him. Jake, do you need a spreadsheet course? Yeah, you're doing one, mate. Equals sum, then select the cells. I thought I did that. It doesn't matter. I have tools and equipment cover as well. Mine's about 400 quid a year with Howdens. Yeah, I mean, they also asked me a bunch of stuff about carrying chemicals in the van and what sort of tank I had, and is very specific. Google driving range, Matt, and it gives the measurements. Are they all the same? And if you've only done half a day, you feel like you can't leave. Exactly, yeah. You sell yourself short on a day rate. I agree. 2 men at a day rate of £600 each, a day's work. To be fair, I don't know if £600 is accurate, to be honest. £600 seems steep for a day rate to me. Steve's paying 400 quid per year. Anyone less with Howdens or more? I'm less. I do 800 quid for any roof I can do myself in a day. Get the customer's reaction on the phone or in person. 800 quid for any roof I can do myself in a day. That's, I feel like you're selling yourself short there. Liam, stop. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, Liam. I wouldn't be doing any roof. Just because I can do it in a day, I wouldn't be doing any roof for 800 quid. No chance. Don't get me started on day rates, son. It makes sense to me anyway. £5,000 tools cover. So if you're charging 800 quid on a roof, that should be 1250. You're losing 450 quid. That's enough to pay a lad for 4 days to help you. Yeah, I mean, those ones that you were doing on your YouTube the other day, I'd be charging more than 800 quid for them. If you've charged 800 quid for those ones on YouTube, that seems wild to me. I think you're missing out big time. Question: I've seen that you often favour turbo nozzle over a surface cleaner when using block paving, when cleaning block paving, and I wonder why. I presume is to control where all the shite goes. Joe, no, it's actually for me. I don't think you get a good enough clean with a flat surface cleaner on block paving. I haven't found a setup yet, and I've tried all different nozzles. I've tried different size surface cleaners. I've got a 30 litre per minute 200 bar machine. I've put it on full whack. and I'm still not clearing all the weeds. You know what I mean? And so with a turbo nozzle, you can go over it very quickly. I'd say on block paving, for the times that you're taking to go back and forward over the same little chunk of moss, and you're not getting any weeds out, the fact that you've got to go back over it with a turbo nozzle anyway, I don't see the point in using the surface cleaner. And I reckon you can cover more ground if you're experienced with a turbo nozzle and you've got it on nice and high. I reckon you can cover more ground with a turbo nozzle. I don't think flat surface cleaners work. And I think people have come into the chat and said, I use a flat surface cleaner on block paving and it works fine. You just need to use these nozzles, this size surface cleaner, this type of machine. I've not found a setup that works. Me and Jakey have tried it on both machines and it's just, you don't get a deep enough clean in my opinion. The one thing I would say, if it's just moss and there's no weeds, you might get away with it. And you'll use less sand when you brush the sand back into the joints. You'll create less mess because you're not getting as much sand and moss and crap out from between the joints. So you'll create less mess and you'll use less sand afterwards. Oh, I need another wee. I'm sorry. I'm sat here literally shaking. I'm not going to play the advert again. Just sit there in silence, okay? Fastest pisser in the West, including bio in a day. My recent video was 2 days, 1,800 quid. So where's the maths in that then? I can only do a semi or a bungalow in a day. If I can get the extra roof, the volume of work outweighs the £100 to complete. I don't know, Liam. Roofs can't be that regular. To have someone on a salary, it'd have to be consistent. One roof job a week is 120 quid. You wouldn't have many takers. I think you could do roofs consistently if that was your main line of work. I bet Macintosh does roofs consistently. I bet that's his main line of work. The amount of videos he puts out. I don't see him doing patios and stuff and driveways really. I'm getting around 6 roof leads a week. Need a flat surface cleaner where you can lower the bar down. I've tried that as well. I swear I've tried it all. I have to wrangle in a friend's help with the gutters and that when doing roofs. Yet to find anyone consistent as my roofs aren't weekly. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing roofs on your own either, Liam. That's the other thing. You probably... I feel like you're potentially undercharging and you're absolutely killing yourself as well because you're doing it on your own. You can't underestimate the power of having someone to help you build the tower, someone to help you pull equipment in and out of the van, someone to help you clear the gutters, someone to be sweeping up. Like, for you to be doing all that work whilst trying to clean the roof it's a hell of a lot of work for one person, honestly. Jake, do you know your machine hours? Yeah, I think my big one's over 2,000 hours. I think I bought it from H2O at 2,000 hours. They told me it was 200 hours, but it was 2,000. I think. Can't remember. It had a brand new pump, so it's just the engine. Doesn't really matter. 70% of my roofs are done by myself. 2, killer with the tower and gutters, etc. Yeah. We're going to have Rich working with us more often now. I don't know if anyone saw Rich on some of the old videos. But Zach is moving on. I think he's getting his job back at his old place. So it's just me and Jakey again. And we've got some big old projects coming up. I haven't been filming much recently because I've just been getting my head down and doing the work. But I do want to start filming some bigger jobs and making some cool videos. I wanted to change my pressure washer setup because we're not often reaping the benefits of having Jakey's machine on wheels. If anything, it's just taking up unnecessary space in the van, and it's meaning I have to keep pulling things in and out of the van. So to make room, if we're not doing pressure washing, I'll take his buffer tank out and I'll put sand in its place or something if we're going to resand a job. I don't want to have to keep taking stuff in and out of the van. I just want everything sort of bolted down to have its place. And I was thinking about... What's this? I was thinking about doing something like this. Look what this guy's done. He's selling this. This is pretty much my exact setup. It's a GX 630 on the ground, and then there's another smaller Honda engine up on the frame next to it. He's got a big old tank, high pressure reel on top, low pressure reel on top. I'm not so much thinking about the back, but I'm thinking something similar where I'll have maybe one big fuel tank to feed both machines, one big buffer tank, like 650 litre buffer tank to feed both machines, 2 high pressure hose reels, and 1 low pressure fill reel. But these reels are like almost 500 quid on their own, including VAT, which I just don't know if I can justify it. I don't think I can. I'm not really interested in having like a boiler setup or anything. I don't really care enough. I would use heat, but I'm managing just fine with cold water and chemicals. Sid's recent bud was brutal. What do you mean, bud? Can't be asked to invest in people. I interviewed 3 lads last week and they were all idiots or wanted to work in the police within a year. I feel your pain. I fell off a 6-foot ladder by myself on the job on the last job. Van died, foot pedal broke. Back of my trailer fell off as I drove home and didn't realise until I got home. Oh my god. All by myself. Brutal. Look at Sid. Just has grief with staff. Jake's been looking finding young Jakey. Yeah, Jakey's been an absolute godsend. I don't know how I found him, to be honest. Landed on my feet with him, but yeah, loads of staff. Like more than one good staff member does sound like just constant issues, to be honest. Sid's recent vid. Yes, I did watch the end of Sid's recent video where he had a little bit of a rant. just caught up. So yeah, I'm thinking of taking Jake's machine off a frame and like adding it onto my current setup, because it's just taking up room. I could literally save almost half the space that in the van if I just put Jakey's machine, somehow configure it into my current thingamajiggy. So I'm trying to design it in my head, but I think this is a very cool trailer, by the way. I'm thinking something like that's going to be ideal. I just have no idea when it comes to all these fittings and stuff. I think I'd struggle to do all that on my own. And what I'd like to do, because we're just approaching the season now and we've got a bunch of big jobs coming up, I should have done it. If I'd have had this idea earlier, I'd have done it over the winter. But I don't want to be stripping everything apart and potentially having downtime on the pressure washers because I'm moving everything around right as the season kicks off. And then there's going to be teething issues, leaks and stuff. I don't want anything to go wrong halfway through a big job. I wonder where he got these reels from. I was looking at reels. AC pressure washers. Hose reels. Manual hose reels. I'm not paying for an automatic one. These stacks look quite cool. Could get 2 high pressure hose reels on a stack like that, where mine currently already is. But again, just the stack alone is 140 quid plus VAT, which isn't too bad, to be fair, for a frame. I'd quite happily go for one of these like 45 meter ones like I've got already. But the bougie ones, like this one looks quite nice. I don't need a 100 meter one of them though, do I? I think I need a 50 meter one really, 40 or 50 meter one. These A-frame ones, these ones go inside that frame. That one there, you can get a 50 meter one. So I could stack 2 of them on top of each other. And these look ideal actually. I think that's probably the one I'll get. But it's 337 quid plus VAT. And I need 2 of them. And that doesn't even include the hose. And I need to replace my hose. 337 times 1.2. 404 quid times 2. That's 800 quid on bloody hose reels. Is insane. And then I need a low pressure one as well. Low pressure hose reels. Or can you use the same one? Look at that. I mean, 436 quid plus VAT for a low pressure hose reel. You'd want it to be made out of gold. I'm sure it's worth every penny, and I'm sure that's just how much they are. It just seems like a lot to me. Steve, do not swear at Jake. Pressure washing Midlands. He does seem to go through staff, doesn't he? I don't know. I think he probably just runs a tight ship. It's like, no messing about. Let's just get the job done. I can understand it from both angles. Jake, pretty sure earlier you said you were done for the night. Yeah, sorry about that. Did I give you a false impression that I was about to leave? I hadn't finished talking about everything on my list. I've got an idea. I forgot how to use this program. I think this is probably going to take too long. I was thinking about making a frame. This is probably quite a good way to like figure out how you want your frame. Actually, this program's called Magica Voxel. What have I made in the past? Huh. This was for my old game that I made. I bet the stream's going to crash when I render this. Where's the render button? Render. Oh, yes. Is the stream crashing? Am I lagging? Yeah, I made a video game a while back. Lindsay, good night. Thanks for watching. I think this one was my favourite. Vibro X. Jake, you can't post links in Jake's chat. You can't post links. No, you can't. Sorry. If you get the ultimate pack, you get 2 Lances surface cleaners. All the pressure washing gear is bloody expensive. It is, yeah. Nothing's cheap nowadays. PWSAS sell those reels, but for a lot more. I'm going to leave it there, guys, I think. How much are Rutland Pumps reels? Parts and accessories. Hoses and reels. Hose reels. High pressure reels. 195 quid. I think that's plus VAT as well. 20 meter, 40 meter. I think that's probably the cheapest. Hello.
Hi. Would you like a little snacky?
Yeah, I would like a snacky. Do you want to come say hi?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
You're looking great today. Come on. Come show them your new outfit.
No.
Come on.
Weird.
Come on. Come on.
Weird.
Look, she's all in green. Look. Come here.
Weird.
What? Say hi.
No.
So Soph.
Nope.
I need 3 new hose reels. Turns out they're going to be about £300 a pop plus VAT. That's over £1,000 in hose reels alone. What do you think of that decision? Huh? What do you think of that? Good business move?
£1,000 in hose reels.
Just to save myself a bit of room in the van. Paul, thanks for watching, mate.
Ah. Guess what I got?
What?
Pins and noodles.
Pins of noodles. That one looks good. That seems to be the cheapest one on the website. Is that 3D printed?
It's 2D, it's just a picture.
And this says, look, it's got the stainless steel Mossmatic swivel.
Mossmatic.
Does that mean the bearing inside there is a Mossmatic bearing? So how is that cheaper than a Mossmatic surface cleaner? I don't understand.
Is that you asking permission?
What? No, I don't need to ask permission, do I? Last time I saw you, it was trying to find the last 1% on the pressure washing game on Christmas Eve. Oh yeah, that was
it
brutal.
Christmas Eve? We weren't up till... No, it wasn't Christmas Eve.
It was near Christmas because
Yeah.
we were playing the Christmas map. That hose reel will cut your hose up. I've seen people complaining about the Rutland pumps, the sharp edges on the hose reels, on the mounted reels, and on the, because they laser cut all their metal. I have noticed that. I wonder if they deburr the edges now. Oh, it's so expensive. Do PWS have reels on their website? Hoses and hose reels. Hose reels high pressure. Oh, I'll just get that one then. That one's a bit cheaper.
It's red.
It is red. That's unfortunate.
Looks like something off a fire engine.
300 quid plus VAT. What about the low pressure one?
I'm gonna grab a cat.
High pressure hose reel. Why is that in a different category? That looks like the sort of one I want, really. You got the pussy. She's blind. She has no idea what's going on.
Why am I floating? Do you reckon I can pick that up in there?
Barry and Conrad are sound at AC. You have to file the edges on the Rutland stuff. I'd have thought that after the feedback, because they've had quite a bit of feedback from Facebook on that. I'm sure they'd be doing that themselves these days. High pressure aluminium manual hose reel. Powder coating in black. 375 quid plus VAT. Ugh.
It should look comfy.
Oh, there's more. Why are there more down here? Stainless steel ones. Oh, these are cheap as well. 40 metre, 250 quid plus VAT. See, I can swallow that a little bit better. 40 metres. I mean, we only use 40 metre hose and then we've got like a 10 metre extension. Capacity is based on 5/16 inch single wire hose. 3/8 inch 2-wire hose will be less as it's physically larger. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad they've told me because some of them don't even mention size of the hoses. Supplied in 4 pieces, requires basic 4-step assembly. Comes with the outlets. Are you doing that on purpose? Some bigger ones. Yeah, I think I might just go for one of these 70-meter ones. Some bigger chonkers.
It's a very bright light.
There's these as well. These are the ones that guy had in his... Ah, these are the ones the guy had in his trailer. That's those ones, isn't it? Looks like he's using... Oh, that's a low pressure one. 100-meter hose? I bet they're not expecting you to use 3/4 inch hose. Probably not. No, 1/2 inch hose, look. So if I go for the 100-meter, that'll give me plenty of breathing room. You'd have thought. Is 100 meters overkill? Probably. Barry's a wizard. There you go.
You're a wizard, Barry.
Treat yourself, Jake. You've got a 40-meter hose on a reel. You can never get the last 10 meters back, and it weighs a ton. Oh, okay. That's what we've got. We've got 40 meters on the reel, and then we've also got 20 meters. We've got a 10-meter extension. ECA Cleaning have some good deals on reels. Deals on reels. ECA Cleaning.
Did you not hear my pun?
What was your pun?
You're a wizard, Barry.
Oh.
It's funnier than that. Give it more laughs.
Hyot, hyot.
Do you want a snack then?
What snacks are you getting?
I don't know.
Chicken wings? KFC?
Oh, I don't, because I would, but I don't have any. Do you?
That was crazy.
What?
You can't do that.
You did that. I didn't
Actually,
do it.
I
I was
don't-
literally going to get you a penguin bar.
I don't want chicken wings. I'm actually all good.
Oh, I do now.
Oh, Jesus. Where's high pressure hose reels?
Do you want a...
Oh, what? Penguin?
Do you want a penguin bar? Or not?
Is there any popcorn left?
I don't know.
No, I ate it all last night. That is incredibly cheap. Various capacity, including hose. That is extremely cheap. You've got to wonder why.
So is that a yes for a penguin or not? Because I'm going.
No, I'm good for a penguin, actually.
Can I have your drink, please?
I drank it.
Can I have a new one, please, for myself?
You're enjoying them, aren't you?
Yep.
Do you prefer the energy ones or the iced tea ones?
I just prefer one of my own, but you're not doing it for me.
Tracy says hi.
Hi.
They're green now. That's an old picture. Oh, the red ones are green. Okay. Those low pressure reels are really flimsy, are they? I'm glad you told me that. See ya.
You're welcome.
For what?
Just coming over to see if you wanted anything.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for caring about me. Yeah, I'm not feeling any of these ones, to be honest. High pressure. Yeah, they've not got like low pressure ones either. Any other websites for hose reels? I'm thinking PWS then. One of these for the low pressure, if I can get enough hose on it. And then I'm thinking... Then I'm thinking one of these for the high... two of these for the high pressure. I'd love it if they could powder coat them in orange for me though. I'm gonna ask Darren. You reckon that low pressure one's too flimsy? This one? You wouldn't go for that? Every low pressure reel I've had has been super flimsy. I probably should just invest in a good one, shouldn't I? Oh, these rollers. Oh, I need those. Because what I want to do as well, equip to clean, we could have a look. What I want to do is when you're pulling hoses from like above the pressure washer, one, I want them to be directed out the way of the exhaust because I keep having to check and flap it out the way of the exhaust. And the other thing is I want them to come down to the bottom, to below the van door using a roller, so that people walking past the pavement aren't going to trip over the hose. So it's already, by the time you've pulled it out the van, it's already on the floor, so it's easier to lay flat. So those rollers would be super useful for that. Oh, 56 quid. It's probably worth it though, isn't it? Jakey's got this plastic hose reel on his machine, and it's not bad, to be honest. It's actually not bad. Corner guide for hoses. Right, do equip to clean have hose reels? Why can't I press that button? Hoses and accessories. Why can't I press buttons on this website? Reload. Oh, here we go. Pressure washing gear. Hoses. Hose reels. So I've got this hose reel. I had a refurbished version of it because I was tight and I got the cheaper one. 3 meter hose on a base frame. Sorry, 30 meter hose reel on a base frame. I don't think I need that one. These just look like the same ones that I've got now that work fine, but I'm looking for something slightly upgraded. Sold out the Gorilla ones. There's nothing very special on here, unfortunately. How about low pressure? I suppose the low pressure ones would be in here as well, wouldn't they? No, I'm not seeing anything that takes me fancy, really, unfortunately. Found out that max clean for decking is really good. Decking cannot be wet, has to be dry. Apply it, scrub it with a brush, 30 minutes, and rinse. Has a small amount of biocide in it. Yeah, it's a good way of doing decking. That's how Matt Onyx likes to do his decks. Yeah, not seeing anything on there that I like, to be honest. The cheap ones I've seen are all cheap for a reason. Just be mindful the PWS reels don't have a brake to stop it unreeling. Oh, don't they? The high pressure ones. Oh. Are you talking about the high pressure ones or the low pressure ones? Damn it. Thanks for the videos. It's been a massive help tweaking my purchases, albeit adding £2 onto what I thought it would cost. Oh, Andrew, you're very welcome. What is it you're buying, Andrew? If you don't mind me asking. Get the 2-axis rollers. Are they on PWS? 2-axis roller. 2-axis hose roller. What's 2-axis mean? Oh, that they can go sideways and up and down. Like this. Right, guys, I am gonna show me your deck. It bugs me that my ones I can't find it. It bugs me that my ones I can't find anywhere because they are mint, as they have stop and lots of room, etc. Neighbour's wife loves my dick. They are the corner ones on PWS. Am I blind? There's a chance I might be blind. These ones, they look very plastic. Are you sure? Right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna jump off. Thank you so much for watching, and remember that support members can now get access to the Discord. I've just updated it, so you should be able to find the link in your perks. You only get access to a small section of the Discord, but at least you've got a little chat where you can chat amongst yourselves, and you get to be part of the community. Always looking at ways to add value to these memberships. Purchase the Evolution 2x40 meter hose initially on its own, then add-on service. This is an add-on service for what I already do. Nice. Awesome. I don't think you'll go wrong with any of the Evolution machines. I'll see you all next week. I promise I'm gonna try and record some footage. Oh, just an example. Okay, Cody. Thank you, mate. Thanks for everyone's contributions tonight. It's been very thought-provoking. Love you, Smell. See you guys. Ugh. The gym and airsoft has killed me. I can barely lift my arms.